Hi, Rupa.
Hi, Shikha.
Hi, Ayushree.
What's happening?
Rupa can hear us?
Uh, I I can't see Rupa. Has she joined?
I can see her.
Oh, okay. Rupa, make sure you come on stage. Yeah, I think Akil is just. Yeah, Rupa, please do click go on stage. She just had that question. She's backstage. Hi, Rupa. Hi, Kirthana.
Good evening,
Hello. Hi, Rupa.
everyone.
Hi,
Good
Kirthana.
evening. Hi, Ayushree.
Very good evening.
Good
Okay, we
evening.
need to get.
Hi, Shikha.
How are you, Rupa? Lovely,
I'm
lovely
doing
meeting you.
fantastic. Thank you. Same here. What an amazing evening to spend with stellar moms.
Alright, absolutely pleasure ours, yeah. We
Yes.
have to, somebody has to send message to Nidhi. Last time, I
Yeah.
think it's already live and I was on the phone constantly, so I'm not going to make a phone call because it went live and my life starts with like 5 minutes of call connecting to Renu in Australia. So I think I'll avoid that so that
Yeah,
if
we'll
you're live,
just.
we can just
Yeah, I'm
show.
just putting a message to Nidhi on the group itself.
Yes, yes, yes. But lovely. I mean, I already know Kirtana and Nidhi
Nidhi.
pretty well for a lot of years, but I'll get to know Rupa. And the connection is the heart-centered entrepreneurs because
Yes.
like that's what clicked. We were doing a totally different topic. In fact, I was trying to do stay-at-home moms this
Yeah.
time because we had missed on, and it made me, this Vidphone show is making me realize a lot that when we're doing these topics, we're really not bring. And in fact, my book, I had to write 100 moms in my book. I was like, who's stay-at-home mom? Who's stay-at-home mom? Like I am stay-at-home mom myself,
Yeah.
almost on a sabbatical for like 10 years, off and on, because I'm taking care of kids. But actually, I missed on to that topic big time in my book. So I wanted to leverage Vidphone. So I wanted to know, let the audience know that yeah, they're stay-at-home moms. I'm thinking about it. I will bring that topic up
Yeah.
somewhere because
Yes.
that's a major population who needs to really speak up.
Yes.
The balance has been spoken about, the mental health has been spoken about,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
stay-at-home moms have a lot to say, and I think we all should
Yeah.
make an effort to
Yeah.
get them on.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
So
think in the beginning of the session, in one of the sessions, we also got this question, is this meant for just working moms? And I
yes,
think, we have been telling, we don't think this is for all moms. And that is the entire agenda, all moms. And like Shikha says, being able to share their story their way. So I
right,
think for Shikha, the entire idea of the Mothers United movement has been that since the very beginning. And
yes,
we, with Phone as a platform, we really connect with that mission. And we wanted to open up our platform, for all kinds of moms, be it working, in a profession, in a corporate setup, an entrepreneur, or a stay-at-home mom. Any mom should be able to, come and
right.
find her inner circle through this platform and through what we are trying to do.
Right, and that's why I'm just saying when I heard Rupa's heart
Yeah,
centered
yeah,
in her
centered. Yes.
detail, I was like, okay, stay-at-home moms has to wait a little. We have to talk about heart centered, and that's why Kirtana and Nidhi have come in because I don't think I've met more heart centered entrepreneurs than them, and now Rupa. So is Nidhi
Yeah.
joining us?
Yes,
Ayushree?
Nidhi did.
A message from her. Namaste, everyone.
Yeah,
Yes,
Nidhi is
Nidhi
Okay.
is
here.
here. All right, lovely.
Hello, Nidhi.
Hi, and we have Dave here as well. Hi, Dave. That's Nidhi's son. So you have to unmute Nidhi and keep. Yeah. So,
Yes,
so as
yes,
we're live right now, I will let Ayushree take over.
yes,
That's the process, and then I will of course take over with the conversation, and we'll end with Ayushree again. So Ayushree, say
yes. Yes. So, firstly, thank you, or everyone for really doing this for us today. Thank you so much, Rupa, Kirtana, Nidhi, and of course, Shikha, for us being able to bring such stellar moms on this show. So where this is the third edition of the Vidphone X Mum collaboration, where we are talking to mums on the motherhood tales. And today we are talking about heart-centered entrepreneurship, what it takes to be what it takes for a mom to be a heart-centered entrepreneur. So, a very exciting topic. I have known Rupa since my time at CWE and have worked with Rupa, collaborated with Rupa. So, I have always heard a lot about how heart-centered entrepreneurship, and this has really been close, to our topic also. While Shikha and I were also discussing, and very happy to have Kirtana and Nidhi. I'm sure we're going to have a very fun discussion around this. And thank you to all our viewers who have joined us today. We please do feel free to put your questions or your comments on the chat box, so that we can have a very engaging session. Before I move ahead and introduce you all to our stellar moms today, I will just take a minute to introduce myself and our platform Vidphone. And so here, this is Ayushree Baruah, and I lead the business side of things at Vidphone as Associate VP Business. And Vidphone as a platform, we are a video communications platform, where the idea is to provide video communication tools for both your external needs and your internal needs for your business. So when I say internal needs, it might be connecting to your teams, working together with your teams in the form of meetings, a virtual office, etc. And when I say external, it means we have a set of tools which can take care of your end-to-end process with your customer. A customer communication tools, from getting a lead to nurturing those leads to actually turning them into customers. So, and all based on video. So that is what we are doing at Vidphone. And and obviously here also you all can see, this is 10% of what we do, this video conferencing platform. But I would say the major focus for us is towards customer communications for a business or a brand. So please do reach out, and I'm sure there would be some way we can collaborate and help your business grow. So with that, I would move on. And firstly, thank you, Shikha, again. So as most of you would already know by now, Vidphone and Shikha and her initiative called the Mothers United Movement, we have collaborated for this special series on moms. And Shikha is a portrait photographer by profession, and she is the founder of this initiative called Mothers United Movement. And I'm sure we'll hear more about it as we go ahead. And Shikha has interviewed more than 100 moms, right, Shikha? Over 100 moms in her book. And I'm sure, we have seen that book. And maybe, Shikha, at the end of today's session, you can show us that book again, if it's somewhere near. So moving on, we have Kirthana Ramarapu with us today, who's the Executive Director for Learning Parachute, the All India Master Franchise Owner for Kinderdance International, a USA-based company started in 1981, and it was launched in India in 2009 and has reached to different places within India. Kinderdance is the largest and the fastest growing education through dance, motor development, gymnastics, music, and fitness program for young children today. So, Kirtana, very lovely to have you with us today. Thank you again for doing this for us. Moving on, I would like to take a minute to introduce Nidhi, who is with us. So Nidhi Nahata is a trained psychologist, whole plant-based lifestyle entrepreneur, public speaker, health coach, and food therapist certified by the E. Connell T. Colin Campbell Center for Nutritional Studies, New York City, and Sharon, India. Thank you, Nidhi. So happy to see, such diverse backgrounds. And I think, but I know all of us connect to the heart-centered entrepreneurship topic, and that's why we all are here. And now finally moving on to Rupa, from whom we got actually, we got the idea of doing this entire heart-centered entrepreneurship thing. Like Shikha was saying, we moved from stay-at-home home moms to this topic. So thanks, Rupa. So Rupa is an international business mentor, a trainer, a speaker, and a mastermind host. So I have been lucky to host this mastermind sessions with Rupa, which is really about peer learning, peer networking, where I mean, I have seen so much value through this mastermind sessions that Rupa does for entrepreneurs and others alike. So thank you very much, Rupa, for joining this and joining us today. And like we have been saying, today is about your passion. How it's about the drive, why you chose what you are doing today. And obviously heart-centered entrepreneurship is about passion, and how it is about giving back to the society. So very happy and very excited to hear from you, all of you, about on your motherhood tales. And Shikha, over to you, to take this ahead.
Thank you so much. And I think for Nidhi, one more thing is she heads the first whole food plant-based cafe in this country. It is an award-winning cafe called Justbe. One of
Okay.
my favorites. I've been convincing her to open it in Pune, but she's just sticking to Bangalore. I don't know why. One of, one of
You
my
should.
go-to cafes when I was in Bangalore. So people in Bangalore must go there. Um, so
Yes, we should certainly check it out then.
yes,
You
Yes.
so
have to.
yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
certainly.
you must. Oh, you're in Bangalore? Are you in Bangalore, Ayushree?
Yes, yes. I'm based in Bangalore, but right now, today I'm in Assam. I'm back
Right.
Assam, but I'm reaching Bangalore tomorrow. Yeah,
So
but so
Oh, lovely. So you
lovely.
need to join
yes.
us on the 3rd of June. That's when we complete 6 years.
And
We're
Oh,
Nikki,
celebrating.
lovely.
yeah, Nikki's
Yeah.
birthday as well that day. So must go there.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Yes.
So let's just put a little expectation. We are refining this way of the panel discussion. I had gone to Vidphone and I said I have done maybe 150 plus. I think I should. I've stopped counting, but I have 150 plus women already interviewed all over the world, spoken to them, created something out of it. And I feel that all conversations have to become something. They have to get out of this room and produce some result, even if it does to even one person who we meet once we exit, whether it's our viewers or whether it's us. Once we exit from here, one person should get something from this show, and that's the intention. And that's why we're going to be creating once this we're doing 3 week series to test it out, and we are going to be creating short clippings which we would really like the viewers and all of you to start sharing, because somebody's heart has to be reached. And today, especially with a heart-centered entrepreneur and Mothers United movement's real mission is for reaching out and the hand to the mother and saying that we are there, you can do it, and let's start the conversation. It's not a march, it is not any kind of andolan we are starting against anybody. We're just standing up to say, let us tell our story our way, the way we want to, and just release it out so that they can become free from it. So if I start talking about mom, I will talk for next 6 hours. So I have to stop. I have to start keeping the conversation on. Let me, because Kirtana and Nidhi have spoken so much, let me get to know Rupa first. Let's start from Rupa conversation. We're going to just keep doing a carousel. We just keep going up and down. Rupa, heart-centered entrepreneur is a word, like I do a lot of international coaching and I connect to a lot of international audience. That's the word which is used internationally a lot. In India, it's a relatively new word used, and
Word.
heart-centered entrepreneurs are being used. How did it start? What's the journey of your heart-centered entrepreneur? And I will then connect it with some questions. So try and keep it 2 3 minutes, 2 minutes answer, so that I can connect it
Yeah.
to how motherhood is connected to that. Over to
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, Shikha, and thank you, Ayushree. Great connecting with all the amazing moms here. What a better way to spend this evening. Question about heart-centered entrepreneurship. Why did it started, and why heart-centered? Why not anything else? Despite of what others feel that heart-centered. One of the big reasons why in India or Asian countries we are a little reluctant to use the word heart-centered is because somewhere we correlate heart to being soft. And what we have started realizing is the best of the leaders, the most powerful of the leaders, were actually heart centered. They were in touch with their hearts, they were aligned with their ethos, and that is what they lived for. They were not afraid of being vulnerable, they were not afraid of being authentic, they were not afraid of being kind. If I were to replace, I'll never replace that, by the way. I'll never replace using the word heart centered. But if I were to ever replace that, I would probably use the word kindness. And if anybody feels that kindness is a soft attitude, well, you are probably still stuck in the the medieval era where being tough was the only way to survive. So it really started with the fact that entrepreneurship is a lonely journey, and on this lonely journey, when we embark upon this lonely journey, it is vital to look onto somebody and get help from people who not only understand and support you, but they are aligned with your thought process, they are aligned with your heart centeredness. And that is where it started literally when, I was turned down by around 11 of entrepreneurs to whom I reached out early in my, somewhere in 2010, 2011 time period when I was starting my entrepreneurship cycle. And I reached out to them saying, hey, would you like to be my mentor? I don't mind paying. And they said, why should I help you? Why should I help a competitor? And yeah, needless to say, somebody asked me on this interview, were they all men? I said, incidentally, they were all men, but that doesn't mean that this is anything against men versus women, as Shikha said. So that is where I started this, that initial seed of, if I can help somebody, if we as entrepreneurs can help somebody, let us never turn them down. And a couple of years later, that turned into a heart centered movement. Over to you, Shikha. Thank you. Shikha, you are on mute.
I know. So what comes to me? There is a talk about the balance between the masculinity and femininity. Now we're talking about feminine and masculine balance. I don't think men already have it, as you mentioned. Sometimes women have that's the only way to achieve. Go getters, do more, achieve more, beat everybody behind in the competition, and that's the only way to succeed. In fact, my initiative is a totally heart centered. If the heart went out, I don't think so I would have even moved one more day in my initiative. Like the kind of connections I've made, and I very proudly say this to anybody who's watching in social media, that I only have 760 followers on my Instagram. And having that, I had 40 women coming on stage from all over India and different parts of the world and launching the book for just a 2 minute stage time. The real spotlight was only for 2 minutes to tell their story. And that's what Heart does. Heart brings people to an unknown together in a way that you can't even imagine. And the kind of ripple effect it's created to these women, the kind of stepping in they've done, I again and again keep hearing, not only them, there were 30 who joined us virtually. I get messages every day. After that day, I started this. After that day, I started this. And it was totally heart centered. So, as you said, I was hitting the sponsorship. And every time I was hitting the sponsorship, they kept on asking me, what is there in this mother thing? Like, what's the thing about this mother that you want to get the sponsorship for? So I also knocked many things. So that's the masculine way of working, which I think more of heart-centered entrepreneurs will mitigate, and they will start understanding the ripple effect of a heart-centered entrepreneur. So taking on to Kirthana now, I will just keep coming back with the question because this is a very important question. And the other two women I know, and thank you, Rupa, for absolutely stepping into what you think was the most important thing, to step into the heart thing. So Kirthana, heart-centered. Um, I don't have to say anything because I'm a big fan of Kirthana anyway. The minute I meet her, I'll just keep get emotional and talk about her so much. She's all heart, but she's very successful and she's created such ripple effects in so many people's lives. So Kirthana, what made you decide? And you have the mother part also in it involved. That why? So let's talk about that mother part getting into you becoming a heart-centered entrepreneur.
Thank you, Shikha, and thank you for this wonderful platform. And it's very heartwarming to be here and to be able to speak about Kinderdance, which is very close to my heart. When we moved back from the US to India, and I was not ready to get my children into a daycare or not ready to really let them go for a preschool at a very young age, especially my second son. Now, I wanted something more where it was mother-toddler bonding, or it was something which I could learn, how the child grows. Though I was a second-time mom, first-time mom, I was working mom, so second-time mom, and I wanted to be close to how the teeth grows. Small, simple things And then I realized there was no program that really brought them, a mother and a child together, and or even a caregiver and a child. Even the maid who comes to, or the nanny who comes to take care of the child, should understand the child from their own heart and love the child. That is when the child starts learning from whichever source the love comes from. And that is when I kind of researched, and dance is something which, uh, I mean, I can go on about dance like how you can talk about mom, I can talk about dance throughout, and I'm always on my feet. And so when education, children, dance, all three kind of were put together and brought to me in front of me, it was just beautiful. And I said, this is exactly what I want to do. And bringing dance and education to children in schools was, even today when I wake up after 14 years, it's never a challenge. It's always something which I could just wake up and say, yeah, this is, this is brought to me by the universe, giving it to me with a lot of joy, and I accept it, and I'm able to come up with great solutions. And the team helps me. I think because of that heartwarming or heart center, the entire team also looks up to me and say, you know what, she does it from her heart, and we should do it from our heart as well. And that is why this is very, very special of being a leader in early childhood and bringing the best to them in any which way I can. And dancing is one of the
Yeah.
only platforms that I can
Ripple effect shows already, Kirthana. Ripple effect is so obvious. And I think the targets and all the technical stuff, all that actually gets faster when the heart centeredness comes, because it's a human who's working for you. And then the humane part is not, it's not, is if it's that emotion part is just like put it on the side. This is not for the workplace. We should not do this here. If that part is getting removed, this is where we've reached today. We are totally saturated. We are totally getting into diseases, a lot of early deaths between 40 and 50 because of the overworking, and that the heart got missing. That you might need a little support or help from the leader, because if I did, that's not fair, then I'll have to give it to 100 more people. I mean, there is no limit to how much heart you can and time you can give to people. So I totally, I'm absolutely a big fan of how you anyway work and operate. And because of that heart centeredness, wherever I see you, Kirthana, I see light so much, panning out of the light, that I see people getting attracted to you, trusting you, and if Kirthana is saying that. So that heart centeredness, and I'll get to know Rupa more, I'm sure, same with Rupa and absolutely with Nidhi. I can vouch that for. So thank you for stepping into the heart centeredness and maintaining it for 14 years. That's the part as well. Not letting the outside world tell you that heart centeredness doesn't work, right? It's long journey, 14 years, also raising our children. It can get frustrating. Sometimes things go very slow. The money comes in slow, and then you just say, forget the heart, get into the masculine, and go for it with the targets, right? And then you say, all right, the heart will still win in the end. So you just keep taking that ride on, and that's the fun part. I that's not the bad part. It doesn't have to go like that. Let it go like a wave and a ride and a boat. So that's what heart centeredness does. So Nidhi, yet another, I'm a big fan of Nidhi as well, and a lot of love for her as well. And I think she's the most heart centered in her voice, in her being, in her hosting, in her everything, out of all of us. And Nidhi, heart centeredness, where did it start? Why did it come in Justbe? And where are you taking it? 6 years now, and where are you taking it? So let's just keep it 2-3 minutes, and then we'll go to the next question to all three.
It's been extremely beautiful. I'm sorry. It's been extremely beautiful journey, I would say. That I feel that when I look back, I think I was always very heart centered when I was young, but I didn't tap it. And then I think I got married, and uh, it was, but I didn't discover it. But the day I became a mother, I think something just shifted. It just deepened, and I think I started recognizing that that nurturing part, me just working from my heart. Everything which I saw was like out of so much love. And I think I still didn't really deepen it, but I was still working a lot from my mind. My children should be doing this, I should be doing this, this is the way I should grow up my children. It was still from the mind. My children reached teenage, and I realized that something is not working. Something is going offbeat. And then I started studying psychology. So when Ayushree was asking diverse, roles I am playing, yes, very much, because I was trying to discover a lot of things. I think I had to reach here, and I had to do different things to reach here. And I did psychology for 10 years to understand the relationships. And then happens is food. Justbe is started because of my son, when he says that, Mom, this is what you serve at home, and I want to eat this all my life. If I go out, where do I go out and eat? So I would say that again, it was that mother in me who actually just took up this amazing, challenging work of running a restaurant and saying, "Acha, aisa India mein kahin nahi hai. World mein there are just maybe two or three. We have to do something. We can't just keep waiting for someone to open. For the generation who is turning vegan and plant-based, we can't be just waiting. We have to do something about it." And I think I didn't hear anything from my mind. I just heard my heart. And I said, let's jump into it. Dekha jayega jo hoga, you know. And I took this up where I think I experienced immense rejections from chefs and from consultants saying that ऐसा restaurant नहीं चला सकते. When it's a project which is not going to succeed. So we don't want to jump into it. But it's been 6 years now, and we are still here, and I'm just loving the journey. And I only know how to work from my heart.
Yeah.
And when people come here and say that, we feel we're coming home, and I know what they mean, because I feel this is my home too. And the team over here, I don't have a team, I don't have a staff, I don't have employees, I have a family to work with. And we all work so beautifully together that I think. So I just feel that, when I learned what it means to connect uh, with my heart and work more from heart, and I don't work too much from mind. And a lot of mentors say that, nahi, you need to use a mind. And I'm like, I don't know how to use it now. I forgot it. I don't want to learn this
It's
now.
gone out. Don't know.
I
But
don't know.
yeah, but Ayushree, do you agree? And Jagat is watching. Do you agree we
Yes.
already have a very strong feeling happening in the room right now? There's
Yes.
already this aura which has come in because
Exactly.
there are three heart-centered entrepreneurs, and of course, I'm totally heart-centered. Can you just feel it, or is it me only feeling it right
No,
now?
no,
I
no.
can so feel it that
Yes.
we
It's
can
that
feel the
aura,
heart.
like you said, yeah. And while they were speaking, you can in every point you are like, yes, yes. I mean, that's what we can connect to and we feel about it. I think we as an organization also, and even Jagat, obviously, Akil, Jagat, everyone. I mean, all of us are also, and Jagat would agree. We agree with the concept of being a heart-centered entrepreneur. You have to have that empathy. Also, we also spoke about that, Shikha, on one of our sessions. I think the importance of, and I think empathy would come from the heart, right? While you are working together, with others, collaborating together, and not from the mind. So completely agree, Shikha. And really, so awesome to hear all the three stories, and even yours, Shikha, as always.
Yeah, I think all of us have been criticized of having too much heart, and I think I'm criticized having too much energy, man. I have too much, like, on the road. I'll find people. I'll see the heart in that. That's it. I'm stopping there for next 1.5 hours, and I'm just going on and on and on. And that's how I've brought these women in. Just today, like, I will tell you that my heart is like, I'm. It's very difficult to create anything with a total heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
and you feel rejected a lot of times. You feel, it's not going to work out. There has to be a strategy, there has to be a plan, there has to be something more so that it goes a little faster,
Yeah.
because that's what you feel.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the truth. And today I'm interviewing a 102-year-old doctor from Canada, and I saw her being coached by, like, being interviewed by one of the very top, you know, well-known coaches, right? I saw her clipping for just 10 seconds, and I said, she's going to be in my book, and she's going to be in my. And there I started. And there's another woman in our book called Shillian. I had caught hold of her from a movie. She was in a documentary, and I caught hold of her from a documentary, and I got her into the book. And the fact that the minute you open your heart, there's only a yes in front. I don't understand why the entrepreneurs are not understanding this. That everything becomes easier when the heart is open and you reach out with that intention, because people on the other side can feel it. And then I had called this Lucy, who's also in the book, and I said, Lucy, you and me, we have to do this. We have to get her. She's 102. We don't have time. And she, like, it's not that I'll interview after 6 months. She gives me date. I want to do it now. Within last 8 days, we've got Dr. Gladys inside saying yes to us and saying that I'm coming in. And then, you know how the heart works. And I just want to say this because I'm very passionate about it as well.
Yeah.
Lucy, who is in Mexico, she sent me a video, and turns out to be that she was in India. Dr. Gladys was in India when she was very young, and she was born to these missionaries who had come from New York in the boat, coming here to help Indian people and the forest people, and she grew up here. So the minute I saw her YouTube video opening, it started singing Hindi songs, and that too about a kida. It's like she's talking about the nature and everything. I was like, how did my heart know?
Yeah.
And now bringing her back when she's 102 back to India to get her the voice and to get that
Yeah.
connection. It can only happen if your heart is open. Otherwise, you will think, not possible. कैसे मिलेगा? क्यों देंगे? Why will she come to me?
Yeah.
And I want to not. This is not a show off, but when I got the PM letter, the Prime Minister's letter was totally a heart connection. When I said, I'm going to write. I'm a Indian mom. Whoever I am, whatever he thinks, I will write the letter to him. And I started working only out of the heart, and my letter was very heart centered as well. And I got the reply. It came in 6 months. But the post office guy came and said, ma'am, Home Ministry has never called us on our post office to say that this letter has to be handed over, and that to a citizen of this country. Only possible when you open your heart. So the reason I'm speaking this is because dreaming will happen when the heart opens. And the heart opens, we'll create a better world. And the better world gets created, more money will come, abundance will come, and a lot of success around will happen. And we'll uplift so many other people with it. So going back to Kirthana, Kirthana, if you met, and you must be meeting people who are, and there's nothing wrong. Please don't get me wrong. There's just anything wrong with the other way, because it works as well for many. And so when you meet people who are, you have to work with, who are not aligned with heart centers, but they want to work with you, what is it that either bothers you or either works for you, or how do you make it work to make that happen? Because there are less heart centered, there are more people who work with a way it has to be worked.
Um, Actually, very strangely, Shikha, the first time I usually meet people, they kind of connect. I don't know why they connect, but they just connect. And I do not go chasing, saying all about Kinderdance, but then I generally lead the conversation to bring them into something which they are interested in, or it could be as simple as, I saw you, usually in a salwar, and you look so nice in a sari. So things like that, kind of, and it's not that I planned it or I just want to do this to make them feel good, nothing. It just happens. And in every meeting when we meet, there is some kind of exchange of notes just by through smile or whatever. And then we just go on with the conversation, and then we come into, okay, what do you do? How can we collaborate and things like that. Yes, there is very rarely that I have met people who, who said we don't like the program, or, I've very rarely met anybody like that, because when we present it. We present it along with the children. And the demo that we do with the children itself brings the smile onto an adult's face. So they are our customers, not the principal, not the director, not the school heads. They are all our, but our main, I think, our customers are children. And today I can proudly say I have more than 1 lakh customers, and they actually smile. And that's what the school comes back and say, can we have it next year as well? Because the children enjoyed it. But of course, if there is something like that, I'll say, ma'am, can we do one demo? You don't have to take the program. Can the children just enjoy jumping and grooving with us just for about half an hour? Any time of the week, you just let us know, we'll be here. And they'll give us an opportunity. And most of the time, just that one line, that sentence, shows them that the confidence that I have about the program. They'll say, okay, bring the agreement along with that. Let's sign it up.
Beautiful. And that gives more hope to people to start more heart-centered things. And there is no hardcore sales pitch or a script that needs to go, because people lean in. And and then the same question will go for Nidhi and Rupa as well. And the second part of the question I want to ask is, do you still feel successful? Because that is something I think a heart-centered person feels very easily than a person who's in their masculine trying to get it, because they never feel successful, even if they have all the money. I feel even if I'm not hardcore working into the market right now, I feel a success bringing those 40 on the stage, and no matter what it is, I feel. Do you feel successful? And then I'll take these two questions with Rupa and Nidhi as well.
Yes, I feel very successful, even because, parents from 2009, where I was a Kinderdance teacher. I started as a Kinderdance teacher because I had to learn the program. I started with 2 children in 2009. And then when we had a batch of 12, those parents are still connected, and they'll say, Kirthana, this is a ballet dance Piera has done. And thanks to you, you have inculcated a beautiful habit into her, and she just loves dancing. And somebody is a tennis player, somebody is moving on, to the US to do their undergrad. And I'm like, wow, the parents have appreciated what we have done. And that is what I tell my team to say, nothing matters. Fostering their creativity and making them strong from inside out and building that inner core strength is the reward as a teacher that you will take home. And someday those parents or even a child will say, that was my Kinderdance teacher. And that's the pride I carry even today. And I feel very successful about it.
Yeah, and I must add, because I talk a lot to all of you, that she actually went and met one of her students. She traveled to meet one of her students like long time years back. She's grown up, and she went to just meet her, because I don't remember the story, but I know she's like, I'm just going to meet this student, and she took a flight to meet her student. What was that, Kirthana?
No, I used to babysit her, and I met her December 11th. It's a beautiful thing. December 11th of 1992, I started babysitting her when she was 6 months old, not when 6 weeks old. And then I met her December 11th, 30 years, exactly 2022 December. They were coming to Delhi. I went to meet her after 30 years, and we took another picture. That time I was carrying her, and now she's sitting right next to me.
So that's what it's like. That's success, right? That's success that we can retain in our heart. And it is not a philosophical thing. Success, even in money, will come if we just keep continuing on this path. It will come. There is no way it will not come. So Rupa, let me take it to you, then Nidhi, I'll take it to you. When you meet somebody who's not heart-centered, who is wanting to collaborate or doesn't work out, how does it pan out for you?
Shikha, I jumped at this question. What an amazing question. And I have been on so many interviews, but I just loved this question because that really opens. And how is such a powerful question, right? How do we make that work? So first thing, what I'll share with you what I have refused. So there have been instances where, as Ayushree mentioned, that being an international mentor means I do work with people from all over the world. So far, I have served people from over 17 countries. But I have had instances where people have actually paid me, PayPal'd me the amount. And then when we start work, or even before we start working, right on the first call, I realized that, this very element of what I call it as hashtag heart leaders or heart centered leadership is missing. So that means we are in two parallel universes, and whatever I do, those universes will never match. They will never merge. And at this point of time, and this I'm sure every entrepreneur can relate to, what do? We have already got the money, or the deal is this close, signing up, the money is going to come into the bank. But here we are, ethos are separate, we are on parallel lines. What do? And I have done this at least recently, just in last year and this year. I have done, literally reached out to this person, told them why I think we are not a great fit to work together, thanked them, stayed in touch with them,
How beautiful.
and actually returned their money. And the PayPal fees is insane.
Oh yeah, I know. I do that all the time. I deal with international. But you almost made me cry saying to do this transaction to be able to give that. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. So bearing that PayPal fees burn, so this is literally a burn in the pocket, but we return that. And and this is the part I loved what you said, Shikha, because why chase when we can attract? So although I decided to part ways, but respectfully, as all of us, we mentioned that just because we are following path A doesn't mean that path B is wrong. It's just
Right.
that that's not my path.
That
So it's
doesn't work
very
for me.
true. So it's a decision that we have made. I have made that I will work with. In fact, my mission says that I am on a mission to support at least 10,000 heart-centered entrepreneurs to grow their income and impact.
Yeah.
And I live by that. So that is the reason why I return that money, or why I don't sign up that deal if that is not a good fit. But that doesn't mean that the relationship stops there. They're the people who have referred me to the next interview, the next client. Just that element of respect, which again comes from heart-centered leadership. So that's first thing. But there is a second thing. Let's say that you have you we as entrepreneurs, we do need to hire people sometimes. They stakeholders, employees, team members, freelancers, clients, whoever. So this is something that I learned. This is not mine. I wish it was mine, but it is not mine. I have learned it from my mentor, Blair Singer, who is also an advisor to Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. So this is something that I learned from him. And it's a powerful concept called as code of honor. Code of honor is literally a set, it is not a legal document. It is literally a combination of 4 or 5 sentences that we agree to. So I have a set of code of honor with myself. I have a set of code of honor with each of my joint venture partners, with every single team member, whether she's from Philippines or from India. I do have a code of honor. In fact, I'll show you something very interesting. My son's name is Neil, and this is a code of honor that I have with my son. And it's a little scribble because we created this code of honor when he was 5 years old. And one of the things that it says is this. Number 2 is, I don't know if you can read this, but it's always do the right thing. Always do the right thing. And you won't believe, I highly recommend this book called as Team Code of Honor to everybody who is viewing this. Team Code of Honor by Blair Singer. Go and read it. If not, simple 4 to 5 sentences that you will not negotiate, no matter what. This is what we stand for. And the beauty of that is, last week, Neil, my son, he was doing something. I asked him to do something, and then I was in my office room. I was doing, and then I came out and I said, Neil, are you done with that? And he said, yes. And then he stops and he says, Mama, I did not do that. It's our code of honor to always do the right thing. So I need to own up and tell you that I did not do it, but I'll do it right now. That was the biggest win. If this is not success, I don't know what success is.
Absolutely. And I must thank you for stepping into your power as a mentor and gifting
Yeah.
us what you just gifted us.
Yes.
You literally gifted us some
Yes.
beautiful things. And Ayushi wants to say something, then I will say. Ayushi, what do you want to say?
No, I was just saying, there are such a big takeaway, right? Like how what Rupa just shared. I mean, this is what Shikha and I have been telling. These are the key things that we want to pull out from these sessions, which we can share across. So that a lot more moms, and this is not just for moms. I mean, this can be applied to so many people across, their any stage in life they are. And so this is a success to us right here also, Shikha,
Absolutely.
that Rupa is
Absolutely.
being able to share something like this with us, and which we in turn, would be able to reach them.
Absolutely.
So thanks a lot,
Absolutely.
Rupa. Yeah.
Absolutely. And let me say, I'll tell you where the gift was given to many people. Probably for me, where the gift came was, I'm a visual learner. I'm a photographer. मुझे तो आप spellings तो मेरी life से बाहर है. I cannot read write so well. I probably am dyslexic. I don't want to go and make that as a label, so I don't want to get myself tested. But the fact that you gave me the visual of two parallels, Rupa,
Yeah.
uh, that is the two parallels will, when you're heart centered, it just keeps making a knot in your heart. You're working with somebody, it creates a knot. You just don't know why it's creating a knot. Such a beautiful person on the opposite side, such a nice, successful person. Why is it creating a knot? Why is it not feeling right? But when you just say these words like it doesn't feel right, what is a feeling to do with this? But it doesn't feel right. And when I brought this book together, it felt right. Against all odds, I had a 4-month-old in my hand when I started to do these 100 interviews, and COVID period and change of cities and everything. And everybody kept on telling me, why you already, as my child was a sleepless night guy, you already sleepless night. Why are you going on these odd timings and connecting to these women? First, the research happened for 8 months, then the 100 interviews happened, and then the book came, and then the in-person madness came. But it felt right, because when you're heart centered, it just feels right. So I just want to say this, and I want to take an example. Today, Shaurya, my older one, he just told, like, I was just talking to him, and when you said this, it reminded me of this. I was talking to him on the way back, and I said, I met this auntie. Her son wants to play with you, So what do you think? Another section. He's okay. I'm like, so what's wrong? It's a little crazy. I'm like, but what's crazy? I'm like, it is crazy. I don't know what's crazy, but it's crazy. It's not okay, but it's he's a little crazy. I said, does he disturb you anyway? No, but he's a little crazy. So I said, let's just go ahead from the crazy label and just go a little deeper. And then he just said this to me, like, actually, he's not my kind of a person. So that's it.
Yeah.
And then my husband was with me. He's like, what do you mean by my? I said, that's the stop. He's just simple. Not that's the sentence. Not my kind of a person.
Person.
Not crazy. So I said, can we take the label off? He's not crazy, but he's just not my kind of a person. He's just this different person. Similarly, we have people we're working with. They're just not our kind of a people, and that's it. And there's nothing. And you said, I thank them. That's another learning. Just because they're not your kind of a person does not mean that they have something wrong with it, or their methods are wrong, or their things are wrong. It's just not your kind of a people. Thank you for sharing that, Rupa. It's been beautiful. And I think you already dropped in a lot of your
Yes.
mentorship
Yes.
things
Right
in
here.
us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Nidhi, coming to you with the question. I'm just feeling so connected. Like suddenly, this is such a my space of talking about this. So I'm
Yeah.
feeling very connected right now.
Yeah.
Nidhi, all about how do you deal? I know a lot of you are dealing with this thing as well, but person who's not your kind of a person, a parallel person coming meeting you, how do you deal with that? And what happens? And if you have to work, how do you work with them?
It's been such an amazing question, because from the time you asked, Kirthana, and listening to Kirthana and Rupa, there's so many things which is coming up to me which I have never thought about. Thanks, Shikha. I'm just loving this space where I can just share, which I don't know what's stored inside, so I'm not sure what I'm going to be speaking, but I'm just going to speak from my heart what I'm feeling right now with this question. Okay, so I haven't really thought of
Yeah.
it. So when I think back, I am We are four sisters and mom, so five women and one man, my dad. So too much of heart over there because we all worked from a lot of and dad handling five women. Can you imagine how it was? And I get married, and now my husband and two boys, three men, and me one. Okay, so my husband really didn't. There's something which really didn't initially work with us was like he was not at all heart centered. Like he was all here. Okay, and me, I only knew how to operate from here, and I don't know how to operate from there. And I think that's where it began. And then I have two boys, and I see a lot of them also